Hey guys, Natasha from Russia here. Another week, another video. This week we have couple different projects. One or two of them are for Halloween, and one is something that I just wanted to get done and show you guys what I've been up to. So as you can see here, that was a book I was doing, and this is the project that I have recently acquired. I got this at antique store nearby, and I wanted to update the front of it. I decided to paint it white. I do like that cream look, but white just needed an update. So I painted just the front. I wanted to keep that wood look and make it still antique looking, I guess. But you can see here I'm painting it white, and then what I did is I took some black paint and added them in different places and made a little bit of shadows, and then I also sanded it a little bit as well. I used Waverly chalk paint, and I gotta say I really like that paint. It's really good, and it dries actually pretty fast. But as I painted that, and then I put that aside and went back to the book. So after the book dried, I made it look old by taking tissue paper and Mod Podge. And as you can see here, that is the steps that I'm doing. I Mod Podged it first, then put the tissue paper on top, and then put more Mod Podge. That made it nice and wrinkly. That's what gives it the look. Because as I mentioned, this is for Halloween. This is one of my Halloween books. I did one a year or so ago, maybe 2 years now. And that one was Hocus Pocus one. This one is different, but you'll see by the end, I love it so much. So while that was drying, I went on to the next project. I had some vitamin bottles, and I took those and Mod Podged them, and I made them look old as well. And again, a year or so ago, I did the same thing. I did a couple other ones, but they were gray. These ones are purplish black, and they look vintagey. I'm doing potion bottles. That is what the process of this is. As you can see here, I'm making it look old as well with the same tissue paper technique and Mod Podge. So I'm applying all of that, making sure that it's all over. And I'm definitely not worried about making it smooth because I want it crinkled, and then I'm gonna paint over it. For my purplish brown paint, I had to mix yellow, blue, red, a little bit of black, and some white paint. You'll see here in just a little bit what I did with that. So I let that dry and then went back to the book. So what I'm doing here is I had some stencils, and I'm stenciling it just to start with because that gives a little bit of texture, but I'm gonna blend that out eventually. At first it kind of looked cool that way with the stencils, but I didn't necessarily like it, and I want the whole book to look a certain way. So I applied the bigger stencil in the center. Again, that gave it a little bit of texture, which I did blend out. So you can see here it's like that purplish brown color of a paint. And then I took my brush and just lightly blended it out, and then added some black paint into that as well. So here's that brownish purple look. And then the next thing that I did is I got some gold leafing and I put them in different areas of the book, and that gave it another look to it. I really love the way it turned out, because I took my purple paintbrush and put that over it, so then it looked like it was part of the cover. As you can see here. So then I took the stencils once again and but I did this time with black paint. Again, this is just for a little bit of a texture type of thing. And then on some corners and different things where there was no tissue paper, I made it stand out by making it completely dark. And then I took my stencils again and kind of stenciled them in different areas of the book. There's me stenciling all of that. And the back of the book, for the most part, was gonna end up plain anyways, so I'm not too worried the way the back looks. So all that, I left that drying for a little while as well, and went back to the bottles. By this point they were practically dry, so then I applied that same purplish brown look onto that, again to make them look unique and vintage. The lids was actually the hardest part to paint, and I still didn't do that good of a job. You'll see at the end, but it was really fun to do. I know you can always buy bottles at the dollar store or somewhere else, Hobby Lobby, pre-made already potions. This is just my way of cheap potion bottles. So I did all of that, went over the lids a couple times. That was honestly the hardest, because I kept touching it and then the paint would come off because it doesn't have anything to grip to, since they are plastic. So now what I'm doing is applying the pieces of paper that I print out. There is the hiss of a cat, and I added the sticker and then the cat picture and Mod Podged that onto it. That way it was solid on there, and then I added a little bit of black paint with it to make it that old-fashioned vintage look as well, like they've been sitting there for a long time. So the next one that I did, there was a feather of an owl. And then there is also spider legs as well. So as you can see here, I'm applying that and applying the Mod Podge over it. And with some of them, like feather of an owl, I have some feathers that I took outside that I found. And then same with spider legs. I don't have actual spider legs, but the spider that I'll be using for the book, you'll see a little bit later. I broke off the ends of the legs because I need them shorter, and that's what I use for inside of this bottle. Of course, you can also buy things like that or not put anything in there because nobody's really gonna see them. It's just the look. But I just wanted to add a little bit extra. There is me making a vintagey. And of course, there's the spider legs. By the way, luckily you can't see my nails that close. But if you can, I'm sorry. Not the best. I didn't fix them until later. So that needed to be dry, so then I went back to the book. As you can see here, there's me trying different things that I wanted to put on there, how I wanted on there. So on my Cricut, I cut out the word, and the word is arachnophobia. For those of you that don't know what arachnophobia is, it's a fear of spiders, hence the spiders. That's one of my favorite movies. It's great. I love scary movies, but as you can see, I applied the arachnophobia sticker on there, and then I went over with a little bit that purple brown paint and Mod Podged it, that way it stays on there pretty good. And then in the front, I got some stickers at the dollar store, and I added one of the stickers that normally says Hocus Pocus, but I painted over it and then applied it to the book. I tried different things with the title of the book. I have this musical notes, so I thought I was gonna do that, and I even started to glue it, but I didn't like the look of it, so I took that off. As you can see here, there is me taking the words. That one I didn't print on a sticker paper, I just printed on a normal paper, and I didn't like the way it looked. I even went as far as gluing the letters on, and see right here I'm taking it off because I don't like it. And I just now realize as I'm editing that this video is upside down for you guys, but you get the idea of what I'm doing. So again, in the front I put in Arachnophobia because that is the title of the book, and then I Mod Podged that over because it wasn't a sticker paper, so they needed something to stay, and then I wiped some of it down. That way you can still read the word if you look closer. And then I took the hot glue, put it on the belly of the spider, and glued the spider on the book, as you can see here. And then I had a bunch of little spiders that I also got at the dollar store a couple years ago now, and I glued that kind of like they're just spread out all across the book everywhere. So you can see here it goes even to the side. And I kind of put them just in random places on the book. And then what I did is I used that same hot glue and I made a spider web look up at the top of it. Make sure that it wasn't on the title and made sure that it was nice and high. As you can see here, I'm doing all that, and then a little bit later I'm gonna put some paint over it as well. And then in order for the book to not open, because the book I got at the dollar store, I don't even remember the title now, but I just hot glued a bunch of pages together to where it doesn't open, and then I put hot glue, make it look like a spider web on the edges, and put spiders over it to make it again look like there's a bunch of spiders everywhere, and the book doesn't open now. And then of course I had to put some at the top of the book as well. Some little baby spiders. And I'm excited to show you guys how it turned out at the end. It's honestly one of my favorite that I have done so far, and definitely hoping to keep it for quite a while. So here's me applying some paint over that hot glue that I did. Wanted to make sure that it blends in, and then I tried to add a little bit of gold leafing onto the spider. That didn't work as well, so I just added some purple paint over it to make it look more realistic and a little bit fuzzy. And then I added some more paint all the way around. I go between the purple and the brown, or the purple and the black. So you can see here, so that is that, and then I had to let it kind of dry for a little bit. And then this is how that thing that I did paint turned out. That's the way it is displayed in my apartment. This is some more fall decorations that I have by the TV. I added the leaves recently. And then this is the book and the bottles and how they turned out. I really love the look of it, and I'm excited when I do finally decorate for Halloween. I'm excited to see how it all comes together. So that is the hiss of a cat. This is the feather of an owl, and as you can see, it has an owl up at the top of the lid. And then that's the spider legs. Leg of a spider. There you go. Well, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys, and comment down below what you guys think. Like, comment, follow. I would really appreciate if you subscribe if you're not subscribed. If you're new here, go over and find my video of my other Halloween projects that I have done over the past few years. Thank you again so much. I really appreciate all of you, and hope you made it this far.